Hey, how's it going, guys? CoreData here. Welcome back to our card discussion video. Today we're taking a look at the yellow crafting guide. Just for finally getting these finished. It's only been fucking, what, 4 months since the last one? It's alright, this video hasn't been delayed. It hasn't had fucking numerous production issues at all. It's totally on time. Definitely not any issues surrounding these videos whatsoever. Anyway, today we're going to be covering Willpower. Quickly before we start, I just want to point out that these videos are entirely opinion-based. I'm not attacking people for liking bad cards or liking certain cards or playing certain cards in their decks. This is just entirely opinion-based, based on competitive viability of these cards. I'm going to be bashing cards that I like. I'm probably going to be bashing cards that you guys like. So if you guys have problems with that, I apologize. Like I said, this is just completely opinion-based. This is entirely based on competitive viability and nothing else. If it was a tier list of cards that I like or cards that I think are fun, it would be very, very different. So yeah. Also, if you guys want to know how I place these cards, or like how I define what tiers these cards go into, check out the first crafting guide, the red one. Annotation will be in the top corner for that. To start the video, I outline what defines these cards in their positions. Similarly to the last two videos, cards are going to be split up into staples, good cards, C's, no play, and bad cards. Again, if you want to know how I divvy these up, check out the last videos. I explain it there. So without further ado, let's get on to some cards, shall we? So, first off, we got the staples, and I immediately have to talk about a card I fucking despise. That's right, we're talking about Invasion Party. Invasion Party is like the best card in the Invade deck, alongside Unexpected Arrival. It's absolutely necessary if you want to play Invade. It provides you a gate. If you don't have a gate on board, it provides you a gate that's one level off keywords. If you have a gate in play, it gives you keywords immediately. It's insane value for 4 mana. This card is completely criminally undercosted, similar to most of the Invade stuff. But yeah, no, if you want to play Invade, it's absolutely staple. I recommend you don't play Invade. Please don't. We don't need more of you. We just want people who want to play other decks, like, you know, real decks, like Goblins and stuff. People in the comments are going to be going mental because they fucking hate Goblins as well. Too bad. So yeah, Invasion Party, staple. Next up is a card that I criminally underplay, but I recognize how good this card is. It's Varen Aquilarios. Fucking Jesus Christ, goddammit. Yeah, Varen is a very, very powerful card. Mid-range and aggro want him as his control. He fits into like pretty much anything yellow. I just tend to not play him because A, I keep forgetting about this card, and B, I don't have one. And most of my soul gems go towards cards for videos. So normally I don't add Varen just because I spent fucking a week just grinding out the fucking support monk cards. So yeah, no, Varen is insanely powerful. In control, he lets you just win against aggro for free. It's a pseudo 4/6 guard, basically. The doubling your health total, essentially, as well, when your runes are broken. It's a sick card. In control, it helps you beat aggro and midrange. In midrange, it helps you beat other midrange and aggro decks. In aggro, it helps you not only race, but it also, like, it's just super good for keeping you alive in the aggro mirror match. Super solid stat line, super solid effect, just makes Varen an absolute staple in most yellow decks. So, if you're not playing Varen, you probably should be. Next up is Dawn's Wrath, one of the all-time control staples. It's a very straightforward card, just 8 mana, jab everything in a lane, essentially. If you're playing control, if you're playing any kind of hard control, Dawn's Wrath is an absolute necessity. 2 of normally in 2-color control, 3 of in tricolor. Normally, like, most of the time you see it as a 3 of in most control decks anyway. So yeah, not much to say about Dawn's Wrath, just one of the best board clears in the game, absolutely necessary for playing hard control. And in a similar vein, we got Morak Dragonborn, probably a card some people are going to be questioning being up this high. Morak is just a crazy control top end and value tool. Tricolor wants him, control wants him. Things like Empire, Red and Control, just any late game yellow control deck, similar to like Silver Blue. Any late game control decks in yellow kind of want Morak. It's just super, super value, really good tempo in the mirror matches, and it's very good against greedy decks. So yeah, Morak Dragonborn, I would put him as a staple. Some people might place him lower. I just think the card is just too valuable to not kind of be auto-include in late game yellow. And that's it for the staples. We're going to move on to the good cards. So first up in the good cards, I'm actually going to talk about these two together because they belong in the same deck. And that is Forward Camp and Signa Standard Bearer. So these are pretty much 2 of the best cards in the Support Monk deck right now. These are pretty much the cards that make that deck what it is. Forward Camp is just insane value. Reducing the cost of your supports is already good, but the fact that it gives you 2 4/2s, draws you 2 cards later on in the game is insanely strong. Similar thing with Signa is it just generates boards out of fucking nowhere. It's literally a 4-mana board in a box. It's great. Some people are probably going to be questioning why these cards are down in good cards and not in staples. Especially when you compare it to the fact that I put Woodork Headhunter in red as a staple. Simply because Woodork Headhunter sees play outside of just orcs. It's very good in Dwem Crab, like red variants of Dwem Crab, because you get like the extra orc synergy as well as the Dwem Crab stuff. Headhunter sees play in a lot more decks than just orcs, whereas Forkcamp and Cygnus see play literally only in Support Monk, which I would class as like a tier 2 deck. So yeah, but if you're playing Support Monk, these are absolutely necessary for that deck. These are like 2 of the best cards in that list, so yeah. Next up, we've got Dawnbreaker. Dawnbreaker is just a 4-mana 4/4 basically. Super useful item. The Slay effect said they got nerfed quite a while ago. It used to just enter play and just blow up an undead. I think it was around the time of Barrowstalker being super popular that they nerfed Dawnbreaker because too many people were just killing Barrowstalkers with it for free. So yeah, just as a 4-mana 4/4 item, it's super solid. It's like the only burst damage available in yellow. So if you're playing mid-range or aggressive yellow decks, you want Dawnbreaker. It's pretty much auto-include. Dawnbreaker is down in good cards just because while it's an insanely good card in mid-range and aggro yellow, it's not always necessary. No deck is going to be super negatively impacted by not having Dawnbreaker, but the impacts of having a Dawnbreaker are very, very high. So yeah, Dawnbreaker absolutely pick this up if you're planning to play mid or aggro yellow. And finally, looping back to the Sport Monk deck, we got Queen's Captain. Queen's Captain is one of the best Wax Wayne cards in the game. This is what really puts you into the Wax Wayne package. An 8-mana 4/4 that comes into play can destroy a creature or draw you 2 cards. It's essentially a Manticora and a Wilds Incarnate just stapled together. With Moongate or Rebellion General in play, this card is absolutely insane. The value it generates is absolutely ludicrous. There's not really too much to say about it. It's just a really solid top-in for Wax Wayne. Again, if you can trigger both effects at once, if it sticks to the board even, the card is absolutely ludicrous. A card I occasionally consider in mid-range, but I tend to lean away from it just due to its inconsistency on the effect. Although in certain metagames, I think you can get away with it. But yeah, it's just a super solid card, one of the best Wax Wayne cards, and one of the reasons to play the Wax Wayne package in Support Monk. Onto the seasonal play. So, we got Legate Rika, Ebonheart Oracle, Heffinger Marauder, Lydia, Vivek, Whirly Wonder, Undying Dragon, and Calgron Teed. Some people are going to give out to me for certain cards in here. So, Legate Rika is just super low impact, not a great stat line. It's fine in tokens if you want to play it. I just think it's worth a deck slot. I'd rather run Dawnbreaker over it, honestly. Ebonheart Oracle. The doubling health effect just isn't really as impactful as people make it out to be. Yes, you can gain a billion fucking health, but normally if you're gaining health in general against aggro, you're going to win that game. 5-mana 3/5 stat line just isn't great. Why not just run Mehrunes Dagon Seducer or Golden Initiates at that point? Like I said, gaining 3 health versus getting 6 health against aggro doesn't really make too much of a difference. If you're gaining health at all, aggro is more than likely going to lose that matchup, so I just don't think it's worth it. Heffinger Marauder, a former staple, really good in aggro and mid-range yellow decks. What's brought Heffinger Marauder down is the inconsistencies in the item pool nowadays. There's just been too many bad items added to the game. The item pool is just so bloated and inconsistent that you can no longer get like pretty solid value out of it. Because back when it used to be good, you used to get on average +2/+2. Nowadays, you tend to get +1/+1, +2, +0, or +0/+2. Those are like generally the rolls you tend to get off Heffinger Marauder on average. So it's just too inconsistent nowadays to really see play, sadly, really, because it's a really good card, one of my favorite cards from back in the day. Lydia is a 5-mana 3/8, 4-mana 3/8, 5-mana 3/8. I have to check because I haven't seen Lydia in fucking about 2 years. Yeah, 5-mana 3/8 with guard that guards both lanes. It's fine. No deck's going to be super impactful for having Lydia. It's actually solid against Dwem Crab. And pretty good against tokens. Tokens aren't too popular. Dwem Crab is popular right now, so Lydia like has some legs currently, but in metagames where tokens aren't too popular, Lydia doesn't really hold too much value. High Defender is currently very good in the metagame. Lydia, similarly, pretty good currently, but she falls out of favor depending on what's popular. So yeah, Lydia's not a terrible card, it's just very meta-dependent. Next up is Vivek. Vivek's a bit of a trap, but basically he's an 8-mana 10/10. That's what he generally is. He tends to eat hard removal or get silenced pretty much if you're resolving Vivek versus aggro, which is generally like the best situation. I mean, you're going to win that game anyway if you're like hitting turn 8 and you're not dead. So yeah, no, I just don't think Vivek's worth a slot. He's a bit of a trap. People overvalue the can't lose the game effect on him. When 9 times out of 10, it really doesn't matter. Whirly Wonder, another card from the Support Monk deck. Just a card I'm not too keen on personally. This is the card that tends to get trimmed the most, just because it doesn't get too much value unless Fervor's in play. And relying on having Fervor in play before you can play Whirly Wonder to get any value out of it is kind of not great. Under Fervor, it does fetch you your forward camps and your Conjurer's spirits. But other than that, I don't think it's too impactful. It's fine as a 1 of or 2 of. I just don't think you want to be maxing out on this card at any point. Next up is Undying Dragon. Undying Dragon is a 6-mana 5/5 with Drain. If you've had 30 or more health, you gain it gains +5/+5 to become a 10/10. It's fine in Dragons. An old control tool, no longer really viable. There's better control tools, better health gain. It's just overcosted for what it does. Honestly, the effect is negligible. Again, why not just run Meta Rune's Dagon Seducer or Golden Initiates? There's no point really splashing out the Soul Gems for a 6-mana 5/5. And lastly, Calgrantee, the card people are going to be bitching at me, I think, for. Calgrantee is just really low impact. It's a 12-mana 8/9 with Guard. Yes, the support is good, but the cards you're tutoring off the support aren't good, is the issue. A lot of the non-unique dragons are just very middling. I think the biggest thing you can realistically get of it is Icewing Dragon. Or not Icewing Dragon, what's the... Is it Icewing? The Battle Mage Dragon, the 9-mana 6/6 that casts a swipe when it comes in. That's like the best option to pull off this, but it's just not worth it. The non-unique clause on this support is really what kills it, but I understand because just like fucking tutoring up Alduin at will is a bit obnoxious, so no. Calgarantine is fine in dedicated dragon decks. I just don't think in general he's as powerful as you want him to be. And on to the bad cards. And boy, do I have something to say about one of these cards. Anyone watching who knows me probably knows exactly what card I'm about to rag on, but yeah, no, we'll get into that shortly. So, the bad cards are Descendant of Elkosh, Balmoral Captain, Joffrey, Umbra, Gilsworn Honeytongue, Jarl Balgruff, Renowned Legate, A Land Divided, Auroran Sentry, and Codless Treachery. So, the card I want to rag on real quick is Descendant of Elkosh. This card is the biggest piece of shit in the game. And some people who like this card are probably going to be very upset with me, but sadly, competitively, the card is terrible. It's the best 1-drop in the game. It's the best turn 1 play you can have, alright? But if you draw this from turn 2 on, it is the single worst card in the game to draw. It comes down, it dies free, dies to curse effects, which from goblins, which are everywhere, dies to negation, which is everywhere, dies to silence, execute. It's just, it's so fragile, it's just never going to stick anymore. Even back in the day, I was never keen on this card. In dedicated Pilfer, it's fine. I really don't think you should be running this. It's so inconsistent, it dies to too much, it's just... And it will lose you the game if you draw it late game. So yeah, stay away from Descendant of Elkosh. Honestly, it's the same thing as Mundustone. Just stay away from these cards. They're really, really not worth the effort. Balmoral Captain, it's just very low impact, not really worth running. Joffrey is like very... He's big, but he dies too quickly. He's susceptible to silence and hard removal. And then you're just playing a 5-mana 3/9. Why not play something that actually has a decent effect? Umbra, the randomness just makes it unplayable. Imagine slapping an Umbra on something and then having it immediately crash into like a Fighter's Guild recruit and just dying for free. You get 2 for 1 for no fucking reason. Yeah, no thanks. Gilsworn Honeytongue, while it's a fucking great meme, it's a terrible card, and I don't know what they were thinking when they made it. Jarl Balgruff, again, another meme. I fucking love Balgruff. Great in Unite the Houses, or certain builds of Unite the Houses. Other than that, unplayable. Renowned Legate, again, unplayable, understated, overcosted, and the effect is completely just inconsequential. Undivided, it's overcosted, and it's just a worse Imperial Reinforcements, honestly. Auroran Sentry, again, overcosted, understated, and the effect is super negligible. 5/7 guard for 8, it's not great. Think of, like, compared to, like, Wilds Incarnate. Wilds Incarnate draws you at least a card, maybe 2. Auroran Sentry just gets you some health back. It's not really worth it. And Codless Treachery is a 9-mana Javelin. That's all I have to say about that. So yeah, that's the Willpower cards. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. The remaining of these guides will be released as the weeks go on. I'm going to be releasing these every Wednesday until they're finished. Because I did I think I said in the last video. I think I said it in the last video that I'm going to be trying to upload twice a week. I'm going to do my normal gameplay on Saturday and then whatever I feel like on the Wednesday. Wednesday or Thursday, depending. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy the video. Hopefully this is some bit of help to you. And hopefully I didn't ramble too much because I had to restart quite a few sentences this video. So if you notice any weird cuts during the video, that's why. I just started rambling and had to cut that shit out. So yeah, remember to like, comment, subscribe. Again, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully it was some use to someone. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.